What's up, light bearers? Welcome to Light Tap, a Vivised podcast. My name is Melissa.
And I'm Emily.
And today we're talking about...
Should I?
Before we start, in this video, you might hear some coughing.
Yeah.
You might see some tears. You might hear some, like, ¿cómo se dice?
Wheezing.
Algo así, como
some sniffling.
Sniffling, there you go. We have full-blown just Texas allergies. And so we're going through it, but here we are.
We're here.
We are doing another episode, and we're excited about this one. So, we are, like, this is like a question episode, right? Should I? Because I think that in a lot of times in our lives, we kind of ask this question. Should I go here? Should I do this?
Yeah.
Should I talk to this person? Should I? And so that is what we're going to be talking about today. Again, this is a disclaimer. This is just a light tap into this discussion. If you want to read more about what the Bible says, if you're still unsure of all of your questions after listening and seeing the podcast, go and this is the best time for you to open up your Bibles and do your own research and spend time with the Lord and allow the Holy Spirit to talk to you personally. But again, we're just lightly tapping into this topic today. So Emily will read our Bible verse today in Spanish and I will read it in English.
Okay. And this is from Primera de Corintios 10:23. It states, algunos de ustedes dicen, yo soy libre de hacer lo que quiera. Claro que sí, pero no todo lo que uno quiere conviene, ni todo fortalece la vida cristiana.
1 Corinthians 10:23 says, I have the right to do anything you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive. Dun, 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 dun. This is, I really wanted to talk about this because it's not like I haven't shared it here in the podcast, pero I have shared it like when I have like preached before or done Bible studies or like have a group of friends or like a group in general, whatever. I've talked about how one of my struggles is like listening to música mundana.
Yeah, secular music.
And I say struggle just because if I hear it, it just depends on the mood. Because if I hear it, then I dive deep y es lo único que quiero escuchar, and so I'm filling up myself with these words that are being used in what I'm listening. Porque tampoco no es como que hay música mundana y like jazz and classical music. No. It's like trap and reggaeton and and bachata. You already know. Entonces I no es como que like I listen to it y like okay, está bien, lo escuché, whatever, move forward, move on. Es como que I listen to it and I listen to it
and it gets
and
stuck
I listen
with
to
you.
it and I stop praying and I listen to it and I stop like thinking about God and I listen to it, and so the more that I listen to it and I consume it, the further I am from
the more it affects you. And it's crazy because you don't feel it until you're like, oh shoot, I didn't pray all day. Oh my God, it's been a while since I've read my Bible.
Yeah.
It catches you off guard, you know?
Straight up, yes. And so I was like thinking like, okay, I've had these moments lately. I've had these moments where I'm listening to Bad Bunny and I'm listening to, I don't know, Tura or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Que se me es permitido. It is. Not like I don't think that listening to música mundana in sí is like a sin. I honestly don't think so. I might be wrong. Again, this is a light tap conversation. These are our opinions. But I don't think that it's a sin, but I do think that it's an open door.
Yes.
I do think that no conviene.
Yeah. I think when we look into it, you know, the Bible states that all of creation was made to adore and worship him. For he is our one and only savior. You know, he is the one who gives us life. He gives us the air that we breathe, and without him we would not exist. So that's just the way that I see it. We even talked about this in church, where it says that all of creation was made to worship him. You know, they mention from our voices to our bodies to instruments, you know. So to me, it's like, even though like it's not talking, even it doesn't even have to be like bachata or reggaeton or anything like this. Even if it's talking about friendship and being a good person and all these things, but if it doesn't mention God, if it's not to praise his name, to me, that's still secular music, because it's not worshiping him. That's just the way I see it.
Have you had a situation donde like hiciste algo que, I mean, it was allowed, it was like good, pero no te convenía?
There's a lot of moments, I think. I can't really think of one specifically right now. Okay, so there's one specific one where I was like, maybe I shouldn't go here. I was invited to a party a long time ago, not recent. But I knew that there was people that they're gonna be drinking and all these things, and I was gonna go with a friend. But I knew that I was gonna be comfortable because I'm not one to drink. I may drink wine here and there, but I'm not a big drinker. And I was like, you know, this person will be drinking a lot. I already know I'm going to be the designated driver. I already know. You don't got to tell me. But I knew that, you know, peer pressure was going to play into this. And, you know, it's so crazy because everyone always thinks, especially the more grown you are, you're like, I'm my own person. Nobody bosses me around. I can make my own decisions, you know. But as soon as you're in that situation, because you want to please other people, or you want to seem cool and you want to seem hip, you're all like, oh yeah, one drink won't hurt me, or like, I can join you in this, and then that's when peer pressure comes in. So, you know, of course, I ended up being the designated driver. Did I drink? No. Should I have been there? No. I knew, hey, I was invited. I could go if I wanted to. Like, I
For sure, it was allowed.
Right? It was allowed, but was it smart to be around that environment? No, it wasn't. You know, things went down. It was crazy, but it was not a good environment to be surrounded with, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's like that's why I wanted to bring this topic, right? Because as Christians, we are like, sometimes like gente just in general, like they like to ask us questions as to like, hey, but if I'm Christian, does that mean that I can't do this? Does that mean that I can't do that? Does that mean that I can't have tattoos? Does that mean that I cannot have piercings? Does that mean that I cannot listen to, you know, whatever? Does that mean that I cannot have a drink? Does that mean, you know, all of these things they have questions on, like that they just think that it's like a book full of rules.
Yeah, like they can't do anything of this, and if they do it, then they're not allowed inside the kingdom. And but this is what people need to remember. Like the verse says, not everything is constructive, and in Spanish it says, no todo fortalece mi vida cristiana.
Exactly.
And in English, it's in the Spanish version says in English, not everything will fortify my Christian life. In other words, my Christian lifestyle. Just because, you know, I have free liberty. I can go to this party if I want to. I can hang out with this person if I want to.
For sure, go and do it.
But if you do it, will that be fortifying your Christian life? Is that going to be building your relationship with God?
And that's the point, right? And so in everything that you do, because there's not going to be a rule book. Again, the Bible's not a rule book of like what not to do and y qué placeres de la vida in general no podés hacer. It's not about that. It's about, you know, you have to ask yourself based on this Bible verse. Si me tatúo, is that going to fortalecer mi vida cristiana?
Yeah.
If I do a piercing, is that going to fortalecer mi vida cristiana? If it's not, but it's not gonna help it either, then I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Talk to the Holy Spirit. You know?
Yeah.
Pero like, digamos, si me tatuó algo, I just had a conversation with somebody because they recently got a tattoo. I'm really big on tattoos. I love tattoos. I don't have any myself, but I really like them. I like the art part of it. I like to see the mess ups and I like to see the good ones. You know, we were heavily into Ink Master.
Oh my God, yes. There was a time where we were obsessed with Ink Master.
Yes.
And we had to catch up on every season.
Yes, every season. And so this person just recently got a tattoo. And it's a tattoo that it's like on this side of their arm and it's of Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar. Why Pablo Escobar?
Because do you not know who Pablo Escobar
No, I know who he
exactly.
is.
Okay. Bueno, pues porque es alguien que le gusta Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
Entonces, I was like talking to this person and I was like, what's the best? Is it a nice tattoo? Honestly, it was a clean tattoo.
Ooh.
Like super clean, like nice. Like, yo, if I ever get a tattoo, I want to know who this artist was because it was a nice portrait, like legit.
Oh my God, it was his face.
Yes, it was his face and it was his face and como que la headshot. I know.
Like, I like tattoos as much as the next person, but like portrait tattoos, I'm sorry, unless it's a family member, I don't like them. That's just one thing I don't like.
Pero it's okay,
like
whatever. This person, I mean, the portrait was nice, the colors were nice, the lining, the shading, everything. But then I told this person, does that te convenía ponértelo? Deja tú, porque esa persona no es como que fully cristiana or like, you know, whatever. Pero I was like, in your life right now, where you are at right now, in this stage of your life, ¿te convenía ponértelo? Porque I was a juror one time at a court case.
Yeah.
I was picked. I loved it. Pick me again.
It's funny because not a lot of people
hate it.
People hate jury duty.
And they don't want to go.
They're like, no,
send me all the ones. No, I'm just kidding. Tampoco, because I have a job. But I loved it, okay? I loved it. But one of the things that, again, a person who I really like tattoos, the person on trial, one of the things that was used against that person was a neck tattoo. Because tenía across his neck. Yes. And so, de ese día, yo entendí, I mean, de por sí, right? We already, like, if you're going to get a tattoo, like, hey, at least, like, make it a good one.
Yeah.
But even after being there and experiencing that, I was like, wow. In your moment, quizás, te convenía tener eso? Or it was allowed and you thought it was, like, super cool that you had this? But in this season?
In this situation, in this moment?
No te convenió.
No.
And so in the same way, as you are going through life, as you are walking this journey of walking with Christ, in whatever you do, ask yourself, se me es permitido. Can I have a drink? Absolutely. Can I go out and go to the club? Absolutely.
But
go do it.
But then you gotta ask yourself, should I?
Should I
have that drink? Should I go to this club?
Is it gonna help me? Is it gonna help me in my walk with Christ, or is it gonna separate me from Him?
Is it gonna hurt me? Is it gonna send me back?
Porque quizás tú puedes pensar, like, again, like I was joking, like, you know that saying, like, una no es ni una. That can go with anything too, right? Yeah. Una no es ni una. Pero una then becomes dos, then becomes tres, and then you're like all the way like at the rock bottom.
Yeah.
And then it's super hard to get back up. So take this as like a moment to kind of reflect on it, like, and really ask yourself as you're walking, should I have done that? Should I? No, pues ya done. Pues ya no.
Done, ya pasó. It's already done.
Should I do this coming up? Should I Netflix and chill with my boyfriend or my girlfriend? No, don't do it. Don't do it. You're not gonna be stronger than your temptation. ¿Para qué vas ahí?
You already know there is no Netflix. I mean, that's the excuse. There's no Netflix. It's a lie. Don't be deceived. Don't be all innocent. Oh no, we're just gonna.
Now, if you're married, Netflix and chill all day long. All right. We're gonna move on to the next part of our podcast, which we absolutely love.
Yes.
And is Am I the Asshole?
Mm-hmm.
So, Emily.
Okay, so for this one, the title is Am I the Asshole for Wanting to Keep My Plants After My Boyfriend Moves In?
Yeah.
Out the bat.
Am I the asshole for wanting to keep it? No, you're not the asshole. You want to keep your plants, keep your plants.
So I'm
But
pretty
we're
sure,
bad people.
I'm pretty sure most of you guys know. We've talked about this before, and in our planted episode, we're plant people. You know, we in between us two, I think we have more than 30 plants.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
I have 15 plus, and you have 20 plus. I don't even know. She got too many. So imagine.
Not too many.
You can never have too many.
Yes. I want more.
So imagine, like, I don't know, we haven't read it yet, but we don't know if this person is a plant person or not, but obviously she has a plant, but her boyfriend is moving into her home, and clearly it's a situation of like, it's the plant or me. Yeah.
And not only that, like, even just reading the title, now that I'm like kind of like, okay, looking at it and reading it, they said, for wanting to keep my plant after my boyfriend moves in. It sucks because this person just writing this title is asking themselves, should I change?
Yeah.
Should I change who I am, what I like, because of this person? So,
and sometimes, you know, not to get too deep, right? But sometimes a lot of people go through this where they're like, well, if I want this person to like me, I have to dress a certain way. If I want this person to hang out with me, I need to skip church because they're only available these days and I gotta make time for them. Or, you know, if I want to be seen as inviting or you know, like deseada, you know, I gotta dress this certain way.
Oh, yes, you know? Yes.
So,
but should you?
But should I?
Should I?
You know, like, it's one of those things.
All right,
let's read it. It says, she's 22. My boyfriend, male 23, of 8 years, is going to be moving in with me in June. Around a week ago, I was given an aloe vera plant by my aunt.
8 years and you're moving in? Where's your
I'm
ring?
sorry.
Where's your
8 years?
I mean,
shouldn't this be of like, let's get married, let's start looking for a house?
Which,
like,
I mean, I guess people out there, like, you know, they don't believe in marriage, but I wonder if that's this person's
I wonder if that's
thought.
her case. Yeah.
Okay.
It says, I was given an aloe vera plant by my aunt. I'm not a green thumb at all, so I really researched how to keep this little guy alive and what he needs to thrive. I got a whole plant to repot him into a terracotta pot with cactus oil. Needless to say, I got attached quick. However,
plants do that to you.
However, my boyfriend wants me to get rid of it once he moves in. He happens to be allergic to the aloe plant. He got a sunburn as a kid and had a gel containing aloe rubbed on his back, and his quote on this is, I would rather break my arm again than go through that one more time. I argued that aloe vera doesn't have any spores and very, very rarely, if ever, flowers indoors, and he doesn't have to touch it. I'll keep it as in a corner on the living room, but he says that's not enough and that it'll weigh on his mind, that he won't feel comfortable in his own place. I relented in the end. However, he thinks that it wasn't cool that I even argued about it in the first place. Am I the asshole?
No, he is.
You think he's the asshole?
Oh my God, yes. In so many different ways. Like, first of all, it doesn't say what happened to him that caused an allergic reaction or whatever traumatized him. But it could be the sunburn and just the gel doing its purpose. Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
I am allergic to everything on this earth.
And when she says everything, it's legit. Everything.
Like, no estoy exagerando. I'm not being dramatic at this moment. Like, I have an allergy problem.
Yeah.
Thank God that it's not like severe to where I need to have an EpiPen, but I have different symptoms of like when I have allergies. Like I have allergies to food, like apples I cannot bite them because my mouth is on fire, my throat is on fire. Frijoles, trees, plants,
watermelons,
everything, okay? The sun.
Oh my God. You will literally break out. Your whole arm will be like, it will just look like a giant rash if you spend too much time out in the sun.
Exactly.
And not even the sun. If you're just out like in a bright, sunny area, in the shade, you will still break out.
Still, even if it's shaded, pero hay sol and I did not put any SPF, I am going to have a heat rash. And it's just because I'm allergic to the freaking sun. Okay? Entonces, I can understand what a sunburn is. Y yo me pongo aloe vera gel. Es un gel que le compramos, whatever. It contains aloe vera. And so that's what I do to cure my sunburns. But as I'm curing it, me arde, me duele. Because I have bumps that are like raw.
Yeah.
And so, obviamente, eso contiene algo que is gonna make it burn. And so if he was a kid or whatever, because he was a kid, he probably is traumatized of like the burning sensation, but that doesn't mean that you're fully allergic to aloe vera unless you got, an allergy test or whatever. But even then, like, okay, no sabes, man, que like if you're allergic to this or not. And then she's like making accommodations to it. Your thing is that you cannot get it on your skin. It's not on your skin that she's trying to put it on. She's trying to leave it in the living room, away from you.
Like it's not even like close, unless he walks by it or if he actually approaches the plant.
Yes.
And the thing is, like, aloe vera plants rarely give out spores. Like almost never give out spores. And spores are like like pollen that you actually breathe in. Some plants don't give that stuff out. Aloe vera does not. Aloe veras rarely bloom, actually, especially indoors, like she stated. So, like, it's crazy.
For him to say that it's like, oh, that's not enough, like, it's going to weigh on my mind and I'm going to feel so uncomfortable.
And imagine he wouldn't even, if he is allergic, like Melissa said, he could have just been traumatized by his experience when he was a child. If he is allergic to it, because, it doesn't specify. But if he wouldn't even have an allergic reaction unless he cut it and put it on his skin. Unless he had, skin to skin, I'm sorry, unless he had tactile contact with the actual aloe vera where it actually touches his skin, he wouldn't even have an allergic reaction. He wouldn't.
And then it's like, okay, so she ended up like removing it from her house, right? Which that kind of sucks. Like literally, like when you become attached to your plants, I just put on my stories not that long ago that my fiddly figs are giving me one leaf. And when I tell you that I was like jumping up and down like a child, Oscar was like looking at me like, what is wrong with you,
you're
girl?
Crazy.
Exactly. Like you really turned into a plant lady. And I was like, yeah, déjame que me importa. Entonces, you know what I mean? Like when you're attached to your plants, you're really attached to your plants. And so she ended up giving it away. And then he's still saying like, oh, that wasn't cool because you shouldn't even argue with me in the first place.
It says, I relented in the end. However, he thinks that it wasn't cool that I even argued about it in the first place.
O sea, que no puedo tener una opinion.
Yeah, like she couldn't even like obviously this is something that she was sentimental about. Her aunt gave it to her, and she said, I've never had a plant. This is my one and only. And she did her research. She even bought a terracotta plant. That's not something like, if you've never had plants before, you don't know the difference between a ceramic pot and a terracotta pot. You don't know the difference. But she did her research. She even bought cactus soil instead of just regular all-purpose soil. So she did her research. She actually went above and beyond for this.
And then it was from her aunt. So it had like sentimental value. You know what I mean? And so for him to just be like, you shouldn't even argue me. Es que es el control here. Like, I'm not gonna move into you with you unless like you remove your plant. Like,
and don't get me wrong, like if somebody has allergies, you know, respect and like be like, no, like let me accommodate you and everything. But if it's something that is not going to affect you, even if it's present without actually touching you, you know, I don't think that's a big deal, because I know a lot of people who are allergic to pets. They're allergic to cats, allergic to dogs, allergic to anything, right? But they have allergy pills. Why? Because they love it. Why? Because it's a living creature. That creature depends on you. Plants are living. They actually provide us what we need. They provide us with oxygen.
I mean, not even that. Imagínate, like, es como que, okay, I'm allergic to, one of the things someone mentioned is apples, right? I'm allergic to apples. Am I gonna tell my son, no, I cannot buy apples because like, I cannot eat them in this house? Yes, like they're gonna weigh on me because I'm gonna see them and I'm gonna say like, oh, I cannot eat those and whatever. So nobody in this house is gonna be able to experience and enjoy an apple. That's so wrong, because I know that even if I'm around an apple, no me va a hacer nada. If I consume it, that's cuando me va a hacer algo.
And you're responsible for your own health and your own body. If he knows he's allergic to the aloe vera, okay, don't go near it. And don't cut it and don't put it on your skin.
Don't touch my plant.
It's not bothering you. You're responsible for your own health and your own body. If you know you're allergic to something, okay, stay away. Don't touch it. Don't cut it. Don't put it on you. But it's not bothering you. You know, some people may disagree and they're like, well, if he's allergic, it's not a big deal. It's just a plant. Yes, we understand, but this is something sentimental to her. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, she was like, okay, fine, like, I care about you more than I care about this man, right? And so she gave it away. Cool, that's cool too. But it's just like,
the fact that he even said it shouldn't even have been an argument.
That part,
like, you should have just gotten rid of it when I asked you to. Like, to me, I'm sorry, some of you may not agree with me, but that is a red flag, because that shows that you are being controlling. Instead of asking her nicely, like, hey, I don't know if this plant means something to you or not. She didn't say if she told him or not. Oh, you know what?
Like, let me replace it with a fake one.
Yeah, like he could have like given her options. Instead, he was just like, you need to get rid of that before I move in.
Yeah.
Regardless, like,
and don't even argue with me.
Like, seriously, I'm sorry. No.
Ma'am, you're not the asshole. Yes, it was allowed for you to have this little boyfriend, pero no te conviene.
Ooh. You know, some of y'all may be like, it's just a plant. But y'all,
empieza con la plant.
That's how it starts. How it starts. Okay. So it says, one of the moderators offered an explanation. It says, DOP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I wanted to keep a plant that my boyfriend is allergic to, and this might make me the asshole because I made my boyfriend feel unwelcome in his soon-to-be apartment. Okay, so one of the commenters said, your boyfriend is acting ridiculous in his being an asshole. I've been growing aloes for 50 years and I've never had one bloom.
Exactly.
There is absolutely no way he would ever have an allergic reaction unless he chooses to cut off an aloe leaf and rub it on him. Like I was saying, he sounds like a controlling asshole, and I would take this as a huge red flag that he is controlling and acts like a baby.
Literally. Ooh. The controlling part. That's the part where I'm just like, no conviene, no.
So somebody responded to that and said, sometimes there's a fire in my fireplace. If I touch it, it would be painful. I somehow managed to coexist with the fire. Don't see how the other situation is any more scary / dangerous. Not the asshole. Oh my goodness.
Oh, look. Okay, same allergy. And I buy my husband exclusively almond-containing snacks to ensure I don't dip into his treats. I'm allergic to almonds as well. Mm-hmm. Those nut thins and dark choc with almonds in the same pantry don't contaminate my almond-free snacks. Mm-hmm. Unless your boyfriend was allergy tested after the gel incident and got confirmation by the doctor that he has an allergy, there's a chance his reaction was to something else in the gel or even just a side effect of this bad sunburn.
Like you said.
Mi gente,
Even the commenters are like, is he really allergic?
Exactly.
Or could he have just been traumatized from the sunburn? You know?
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. It's just, no.
Yeah.
And there's another commenter that says, no, it's totally fair. I mean, that's why OP will have to get rid of the stove because he'll definitely get burned just by having it in the house. The same goes for the unlit candles.
Love
any sort of camping equipment. Oh, and don't forget to strip out the electricity because he could cut himself.
Yeah.
Not the asshole. This is stupid. Apply it to literally anything else and see what you have left.
There you go.
I like that comment.
I love that comment.
God forbid we have a stove in the house. He's gonna get burned. Oh my God. Poor baby. No.
Yeah, see, and it's like that, right? Like you're like a grown man at this point. You're not that old, but you're a grown man of 23 years old.
Yeah.
And you're acting like, oh, it can't even be like in the same space. Porque algo me va a dar. Porque it's gonna stress me out and give me like something. Get out of here.
So Reddit has dubbed this person not the asshole.
Yeah. Yes. Y no te conviene, man. Like, no te conviene estar con un man así.
Yeah.
So we really hope that you like listen to this podcast. And if you were ever like in a situation where you are wondering like, should I do this? Should I not do that? You know, what should I do? Where's the manual to all of my questions?
Yeah.
Like, just take this verse, 1 Corinthians 10:23, and apply it to whatever situation you're going through. And ask yourself, is this going to be constructive? Is this going to strengthen my walk with Christ, or is it going to take away? Like I said, some things are not, like, hay unas cosas que sí son sin. Like fornicating, todo eso.
Yeah.
Esas son cosas que they are listed in the Bible that you shouldn't do, right? But then there's like things that we say that are in the gray area where we really have to use our common sense and our conviction in what we have read and say, well, is it going to strengthen my walk with Christ? Is it going to bring me closer to him, or is it going to take me further from him? And then make a wise decision. There's another Bible verse donde dice de que el sabio ve el mal y se aparta. Right? If the wise man looks and see temptation, runs away. So don't put yourself in situations where you're needing to fight temptation all of a sudden, because sometimes you're going to be weak and you're going to fall into that. And that's not going to be constructive for your life. And so we want you to take this and just, apply it to your life. Let us know in the comments what happened in your life that, yes, you were allowed to do it and you did it, but it wasn't the best thing for you to do. It wasn't constructive at all. And you learned your lesson. Let us know because we want to read them.
And let us know.
Yeah. So that's it for today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. And then we'll see you on the next one. Bye.